This is James Swinney, and once again here is your morning market brief. As always, we first begin overseas, this time with the major Asian Pacific markets, and they are once again trading mixed, with the Shanghai Composite down a total of 0.1%. However, the major European indices are in the green, and U.S. stock futures are pointing towards a higher open. Now, we first begin in Europe, as officials are now reportedly in talks to use the 440 billion euro rescue fund as emergency credit. This would then recapitalize banks as a precautionary measure against the spread of the debt crisis. This decision is expected to be made at tomorrow's Brussels summit. Now, speaking of Brussels, French President Nicolas Sarkozy is expected to be in Berlin today to meet up with German Chancellor Angela Merkel in order to finalize a deal on a new Greek bailout prior to tomorrow's Brussels summit. And now we take a look at earnings released in the United States. Late yesterday, Yahoo had its report, and it reported earnings of 19 cents against expectations calling for 18 cents after the bell. However, the company did post a revenue of $1.07 billion, missing estimates of $1.1 billion. Also in earnings, we had Chipotle posting lower than expected earnings of $1.59 per share against estimates calling for $1.67 a share. The company blamed the lowered figures on higher food prices and announced that it will soon raise prices on its food products in nearly 80% of all of its restaurants. Meanwhile, Apple late yesterday had a monster second quarter, posting net profit of $7.31 billion, well above expectations, led mostly by iPhone as well as iPod sales. And then economic data in the United States scheduled to be released at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have existing home sales figures for the month of June, and the consensus is for a rise to $4.9 billion and $4.9 million, And in industry news, American Airlines has announced an order of 400 jets from both Boeing Company as well as Airbus SAS, therefore making it the biggest order in aviation history. And cleaning products maker Ecolab Incorporated has announced a deal today in order to buy chemicals firm Nalco Holding for just roughly $5.4 billion. And China's biggest offshore oil producer, CNOOC Ltd, is now set to acquire bankrupt Opti Canadian Incorporated for roughly $2.1 billion in both cash as well as debt.